Hi there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today it's time for my Friday reads, my weekly wrap up of what I've read this week and what I'm thinking of reading next week. So I had a bit of an epic reading week this week. I read 6 books and quite a variety as well, so let's get straight into it. The first book I read this week, I believe I mentioned in my last week's video that I just started, and that was my BookTuber Recommends project book for this month, and it was recommended by Rachel from The Shades of Orange, and this book is called The House in the Sky by Amanda Lindhout and Sarah Corbett, and it's a memoir. I have done a full review video of this, and it's actually currently on that video there's a chance for a giveaway of this book, so if you haven't had a chance to check that out, if you want to know more about this book and maybe enter the giveaway to receive a copy, then go and check that out. But I loved this. I just loved it. It's a memoir of Amanda Lindhout, and she is a 33-year-old woman, I believe now, who we find out about her life and her travelling and the travel bug that she got, and how she was working in Somalia in 2008 and she was kidnapped and held for ransom, and it is about basically her life up to now, and we find out what happened and what happened with her release and how long she was captured for and what happened during that. It was a very moving, very intense book, and a real life story made it even more harrowing. So I gave this 5 stars, and I definitely recommend it to people to pick up if you're interested in memoirs, if you're interested in politics, if you're interested in what's going on in the world, if you're interested in a life story and something a bit different, then yes, pick this up. So as you might think, after reading that book, I really needed just something that was going to take me away and on an adventure somewhere, and so I picked up one of my library books, and that was Sweet Venom by Tara Lynn Childs. Now this book is about 3 girls who don't know each other but find out that they're triplets, and they are all descendants of Medusa. There's a lot of Greek mythology, there's a lot of kick butt. It's a YA, really good book. I would say in the vein of the action of Percy Jackson, but with female protagonists, and yeah, I mean, I just thought it was a really good book, definitely what I needed, and I've ordered the other 2 from the library in this series because I really want to continue with it. It was just a really good, fun, fast-paced read. So if you're interested in a bit of Greek mythology, Medusa, and just some fun action, then yeah, this is one for you. Next, I picked up another book that had come from the library, and that was Frozen by Melissa De La Cruz and Michael Johnston. I've read Melissa De La Cruz before, I want to say in like a vampire series, which I really enjoyed. I do enjoy her writing. I'd heard mixed things about this from people on BookTube. Some people loved it, some people hated it. It's been a bit of a Marmite book. I'm really pleased that I read this and found out for myself though. Luckily it was in the library, so I did pick it up on a whim to give it a go. The plot at the beginning is a little bit confusing. We're sort of thrown in and we don't really know what's going on, and it doesn't feel like it's explaining itself properly. But as you get into it, you get sucked into the story, and it's a really good story. What I loved is that it is a YA dystopian and there is no insta love. There is a love story in there, but it's not instant, and it feels organic and it feels normal, and I just, yeah, yes, I love the fact that it's a bit of a slower burner, and it's got a really good world building. It's really interesting. You can tell it's building up for more in the series, and I just, by the end of this book, I was like, yes, I need to read more of this. So I'm definitely going to be carrying on with the next book in this series. And I gave this one 4 stars. Next was a buddy read with Samantha from Book Towers, and that was If I Stay by Gail Foreman. I didn't realise how quick this book was. It was like 196 pages. It's a really short book. I think I may have read it before, but I'm not 100% sure. And so I wanted to read it, and thankfully Sam really wanted to buddy read it, although I think I was probably the worst buddy reader in the world on this one because I read it in a day. In fact, I had a whole day to myself because my husband, bless him, had my daughter all day to do fun stuff with. So I read If I Stay, I watched If I Stay the film, and then I read Where She Went. So yeah, and poor old Sam was like, oh, right. So sorry, Sam, that I am the worst buddy reader in the world. But I did enjoy talking to you about it on Goodreads, even if it was a little bit later. And yeah, anyway, back to the story. Mainly in this story, I really enjoyed the use of music, and I really enjoyed the use of music, especially during the scene at the beginning. I don't want to spoil things, so I'm not going to say too much. I liked the use of music, and I really liked the use of the chapters being split into times. This was set really over about a 24-hour period, and I liked the fact that you started the next time, you heard a little bit about what was going on in the present, and then we get flashbacks of the past that are relevant to what is going on in the present, and we learn about the story, and we learn about Mia's life, and we learn about everything that's going on through these flashbacks, and I just really, really enjoyed that. It felt like a really cinematic book. There was a tear in my eye at the end. It wasn't quite as emotional as I thought it was going to be, so I gave this one 4 stars. However, the film had me bawling like a baby. You know, maybe this was a book that really should have been a film. I don't know, but I loved it and I was crying a lot. Next, I straight away read Where She Went, and unfortunately I was a little bit disappointed with it. It was a 3-star read for me. It was okay, but I was frustrated with the characters. I was frustrated with where it had gone. It felt like they had gone backwards in their maturity levels, and it just didn't feel right to me what was going on. This one is told from Adam's point of view, and I liked that side of it. I liked it being told from his point of view, and it was a good read. It was a fast read again, but it just wasn't as good for me as If I Stay. It just didn't feel 100% right. I don't know, maybe I just didn't like what had happened to them, because you have in your head, If I Stay is one of those books that sort of left a little bit to like, oh, and I wonder what happened next. And I can see why Gail Forman has written a book, because I'm sure she had a lot of people saying, well, what happened next? What happened? And so I can see that, but I just, for me, maybe it wasn't my vision of what had happened. So it was just 3 stars. It was good and it was a good read, but yeah, just a 3-star for me. And then finally this week I picked up a Jodi Picoult novel. Haven't read one for a while, and I do love her books. They're just ones that you can whiz through, and I find them very interesting. And a friend had said to me how great this one was, and it's called Leaving Time, and it's about a girl called Jenna, and she is looking for her mum. Her mum disappeared 10 years earlier, and her mum was quite a renowned scientist researching elephants. And so in this book we get multiple points of view. This is what it's like with a lot of Jodi Picoult books, and I do really like that. We have Jenna's point of view, we have Jenna's mother's point of view, we have a psychic who Jenna has enlisted to help her find her mother, we have the cop that was working on the case originally, Virgil, his chapters, and it's just a really, really good book. Much in the same vein as many of Jodi Picoult's books. There's twists and turns. It's great writing, and this plot was really good. I mean, the facts that we learn about elephants in here were just fascinating. I loved that part of it. That really drew me in, and I would definitely recommend this one to read. It was just a really good read, and I gave this one 4 stars. And so now on to what I'm thinking of next week. I have to say I don't really know. I haven't decided. I've got a few books left on my fantasy TBR with the BookTube Reading Buddies. I haven't done very well with that. I've only read 1, and I think I had 5 on my list. And I've also got my diverse read, but I'm really just feeling like picking and choosing what I feel this week on. I'm probably going to pick some stuff off of my library books shelf, because I've got a lot of library books at the moment and I'm working through those at the moment. So I'm not going to do a TBR for this week. I'm just going to leave it to chance and surprise you next Friday with what I read. I've read most of the books I wanted to get to this month, and most of my TBR books, which we'll look at next week in my wrap up for the month. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased, so I'm going to allow myself a week of just indulgence reading, and I shall be loving it. Anyway, what have you been reading? What are you looking forward to reading? Have you read any of these books? What were your thoughts on them? As always, comment down below. I love speaking to people, and I'm just loving BookTube. I say that all the time. Last week I said it, and I'm going to say it again this week. I just love it, and I'm really enjoying spending time and getting to know people and getting to know people better, and doing loads of buddy reads. I'm doing loads of buddy reads over the next few months, and I'm really excited about it, because I think you get a different experience every time you buddy read with different people. And yeah, so that's it for me this week, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.